Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds, hanging out with some nerdettes today. We're going to play some 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry, we're running a little bit late. That is my fault because at the last minute I'm like, hey, you guys want to level up? And they're like, hell yeah, we want to level up. And now they're leveled up. So we're going to start. We're down Vex tonight. She's got some medical issues that come up from time to time, so there's going to be times when she kind of pops in and out. But that's okay because Vex is our friend, and we will make do. So when we last left off, you guys were in the middle of trying to solve this stank problem in Gryphongaffe, and actually, the Sisterhood had actually been sent from the Nag in order to come and track down the monarch, who was the one making the poison, making the drug and distributing it. You guys first, had your biggest lead, in that town that had no name, but it may not have a name, but it does now have a tavern with a name that's been named after Daff and Agnatha, or Agnatha. I can't talk, but either way. So they've left their mark. The three of you have already begun establishing yourselves as heroines in the region. Matter of fact, you had a group of bandits accost you on the road up until the point when they recognized you, and they fled in fear of your wrath. And now we were back in Gryphongaffe. Do you want to do part of the recap, Kenna?
Oh gosh. Okay, let me see if I can remember what all happened last week.
I can help too. We were back in town and we got run into by all those weird creatures in the darkness, remember? And I was like, blast them with fire!
Mm-hmm.
And so
Texas
blasted them with fire, and then I found these medallions that were like...
Yeah, they had the butterflies and the teeth.
Right, like skulls and the teeth.
The teethy skulls.
Yeah. And then Daff went off to figure out what it was. Come to find out, they are like control devices from beings outside of our existence or reality.
From the far realm.
Yeah, like a far realm.
Yeah.
So they're like control device amulets or something like that.
Defexis put Borscht in the Foppy Bandit's clothes, and I took his hat.
You took his hat. Oh,
I'm still wearing his hat. Kenna's not going to give that up easily.
That's awesome. Okay.
So and that's pretty much what happened. Because it was the session before that you guys actually blew up Thurwood's house, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're all starting to run together. We're on session 9 now, and going strong. So
awesome.
So Agnatha is a 8th level half-elven barbarian, and Kenna is playing a halfling bard, also 8th level now. College of Valor and Totem Path for the Barbarian.
Yes.
And so you guys all find yourselves together, all three of yous. And let's see if you guys are ready, because I've given you some homework a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, yes. I need to open that document.
So you guys are kind of like standing in a circle talking, and Daph's going over the information she had got about the amulets and everything.
Okay.
When Borscht starts like walking in circles around you guys, kind of shuffling his feet, and he's making these like weird noises in his throat, like almost like a chant. But at the same time, Monty is going the opposite direction, so counterclockwise, while Borscht is going clockwise around you. And he starts making these like, ever hear a dog when they make that chuffing sound?
Yes.
And he starts doing it, but almost like rhythmically.
Oh God.
And each of you feel a pinprick on your pointer finger. And if you look at it and you raise it up, you can see there's just, out of nowhere, there's just a drop of blood. And, as you hold it up to see it, the blood actually begins arcing from each of your fingers. And you kind of like just lift your hand, subconsciously going, what was that? It doesn't hurt per se. It's almost like when you get a needle or get blood drawn, you just feel that instant prick. But the blood begins to pool from your finger into the air and forms a circle that's floating around between the three of yous.
No.
How much blood does it take to do that?
Like
We're
a
gonna need
circle
to
of
eat
blood?
a cookie or something.
And as you look at it, you begin to lose focus, and you begin to receive a vision. Which one of you want to go first?
Sure. Me. Do your worst, Dave. I mean,
Okay, so you guys had some homework. Now this is your part.
okay. So I'm just gonna go into a vision,
Yep.
and I'm going to see what I'm gonna tell you about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I start envisioning this woman she's like this beautiful, kind of. She's different because she's a dwarven woman, but she's very beautiful. She's got like long black hair, and she's healing these men, and the men are like having these weird symptoms all of a sudden, and she's basically been curing the men in this town. And you start seeing weird things happening in the village. The people getting uneasy, and then all of a sudden you see her name is Josephine. She's basically like a healer woman of the village, but all of a sudden you see her put down her healing utensils and putting down her herbs, and she starts rallying women, and she's just charging after something into the darkness, with like sword in hand, and like every woman in the village is like with her, and you see them attacking this like great monstrosity, like this feminine being kind of. It's just, yeah, so that's what I see.
Okay. And then we're going to go back to you in a moment. So go ahead, Kenna.
Okay.
All right. So what I see is a pirate on a pirate ship, and they have struck out on the water to go and fight this kraken that's been causing storms and causing shipwrecks in this sea. And she is an orcish woman, broad-shouldered in leather armor with cutlasses. She's got dark hair and long dreadlocks, dark eyes, very strong and fast. The captain of the ship died, and then she proceeded to like lead the crew to victory over this kraken.
Nice. Very cool.
Okay, so as you kind of like drift in and out of the current reality, and these scenes are playing through your minds of these people you've never seen before, and you've never met them. But there's one thing in the vision that kind of like stands out for each of you, and that is a symbol that they were wearing on their cloaks, and it is a crescent with a sword, between the points, point down, hilt up, and then crossing that that sword on an angle looks like a little lightning bolt. And as you kind of, that's like the last thing your mind's eye focuses on before you come to the reality that you're in now. And the blood circling in the air, the circle begins to coalesce into three orbs above each of you, still kind of like pointing to your finger from the stream of blood. And that's when you actually realize that you're still standing there holding your hand out, when those globs drop from the air and fall into your palms, each of you. And it forms that very same symbol. You're holding a brooch in your hands.
So this brooch is made out of our blood.
It is. I mean, it's solid now. It almost looks like it would be made out of ceramic or some kind of stone or something.
Wow.
It's cool. It's actually cool to the touch and feels soothing in your hand.
That is the coolest, most brutal thing I have heard in ages.
So each one of them, this actual act of this vision has actually attuned it to you. You can always break that attunement if you choose to. So each one acts as a ring or cloak of protection. So +1 to your armor class, +1 to your saving throws. Both Daph's and Kenna's is a little bit different. It actually is bonded to you and your companions as well, so they get the same benefit of the armor class and the saving throws.
Nice.
And then Agnatha, you actually, as long as you're attuned to this item, you gain the benefits of Tavern Brawler defeat. So that will increase your strength by 1 as long as you have that in your possession, and give you the other benefits as well.
And then it was +1 to saving throws, and then +1 to what?
Armor class.
Armor class. That's what I was thinking. Cool. Tavern brawler. Cool.
And Kenna can also select a feat that would kind of make sense to her character as well. And again, you can use it as long as that's attuned to you.
Right on.
And now, these women that you've never met, you feel spiritually connected to them, and you just know that they're no longer part of this world. They've passed long since.
Awesome. We just like absorb their memory almost, like their
Pirate
strength.
ghost.
I like it.
I pin my brooch to my cloak.
And then, so between Borsch and Daph has kind of made this ritual kind of weird, and has made her feel kind of ill. So she wants to go lay down, and you guys are back at the halfling compound. So she's going to actually use your wagon to go lay down and rest in, and
Cool.
Borsch is going to tend to her.
Okay, that's a good idea.
So, what are you guys doing now? I believe it's late in the afternoon, because when we had last left off, Daph had taken off and kind of disappeared for most of the day, and then finally reappeared later. Then you guys just did this. She gave you the information she had found out, and also that that possibly you guys might be able to use that amulet to track back through magic to the source of whatever was controlling those creatures.
Right.
But she's not going to be up for that right now.
So in the meantime, what do we do, Kenna? We just sort of look at each other.
Oh. Well, let me see. Shall I go down the list of things that we could potentially do right now? Because I have a lot.
Well, I think, definitely trying to deal with this talisman and trying to find something out about this is going to be helpful.
Well, I want to know who Nolan Solrus is. I want to know where the mushroom men are being kept in this town. We've been to the busted donkey. That no longer holds much interest for me. Let me see. Heard something about a big frog thing with purple crystals on it at some point. I do at some point want to research blood cultists and find out why everyone is so obsessed with them, but that can wait. I've been volunteering at the church, but I don't think that you would like doing that very much, so we'll hold off on that too.
No.
They brought Gus in. We could question him about Darewood and where he might be holding up at the moment.
That might be good. And then we can sort of, should we fill in Harrock on this all, or should we?
I knew that was going to come up.
Okay. So, wait, what? You cut out.
I said I knew that was gonna come up, and I give you like the teasing smirk.
I just sort of like play with you and like poke at you. I would imagine that Agnetha would be constantly playing with Kenna, like.
No,
Like they said,
do not
cute
touch
you.
me.
And I do it because it bothers you, but it's so cute when you're mad. I'm like, yeah.
Oh man.
Okay, so maybe that's a good idea. We can go and confuse more people. What are we gonna say to him though?
Well, I was thinking ask questions, but that might not be totally safe.
Yeah, we don't want to spill some beans or anything.
Well, you did bring up they brought in Gus, so there's a possibility you could go talk to him.
Yeah.
You also mentioned one of the nobles you wanted to find out about.
Yes, Nolan Solras. He's been smuggling things into the town at night and paying one of the watchmen to get it through.
Right. We need to definitely look into that immediately. And yeah, that could solve a lot of problems.
I mean, assuming it's even related. I assumed it wasn't because it's just something the Pixies overheard. What are the odds of those things being connected?
But you did hear of it.
I did hear of it, and I do want to know more about it.
But you have heard of me. Yes. Let's do that. Let's start some trouble.
Okay. I'm going to go find out about this Solras family.
Okay. So if so how do you want to go about it? You want to like research them? You want to just find out where they live and show up? What's the plan?
I'm going to research them first because I feel like just showing up on their front door would be a bad idea.
I could roll a charisma check. I'm a half elf. I could just be like, so I don't know. That'd have to be a really creative scheme though. He'd just shut the door in my face. He'd be like, go away.
I mean, let's find out about them first and find out what kinds of people they would expect to show up on their front door before we go showing up on their front door.
Well, use your little freaking halfling abilities to be sneaky and small and go and sit out front and just pretend to be a statue. People just walk
always
right by.
accusing me of being sneaky.
So
if you turn invisible one time.
Give me a let's see, investigate check.
$14.
Okay. 17 and a 14.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the two of you start kind of canvassing, asking questions, and it's actually right off the bat. It's really easy to find out where they live. They're well known and kind of respected in the town, and two, to find out what their family business is. So, one, you find out that they actually have, they have a warehouse along the docks to the river. And their primary business is they actually export goods they import from Gryphongaffe and Carshapatha, both the Elven. God bless you. Bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Both Carshapatha is the Elven kingdom and Gryphongaffe is the Dwarven kingdom. So they import goods from both of them, and then they export them outside of Gryphongaffe, and which has made them quite wealthy.
Interesting. All right. It's sort of like Bode the Botman.
So that kind of gives you, I guess, two different routes to go if you wanted to pry into what they're up to.
Well, as far as we know, it's just the one son causing trouble, and the rest of the family doesn't know anything about it.
Right. We need to watch him more closely, it would seem.
If we can figure out which one he is, we don't even know at this point.
Right. You're gonna have to watch their house or something. Like, we know where he lives, right? Or this person lives.
Yeah, you're able to find.
Yeah.
you're able to find out where their business is and where their house is. That information is fairly easy.
Okay.
Well, if we go to where their business is, then we are more likely to be able to be like, oh no, we're here for this reason that's nearby than we would be if we went to their house.
Then we would if we what?
If we went to their house, there would be the problem of it's probably decently far away from other things because these are wealthy folk we're talking about. They don't just tend to build their houses right up against the house next to them. No, they want some space probably. So my vote is to go to the business because it is most likely to be nearby other things that we
Right.
can use as a cover.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay.
So I also feel like wherever you decide to go, it is 33% less likely it'll burn down now.
Indeed. This is true. We're like, well, at least we don't have to worry about pyromaniacs anymore. Make a joke. You're like, huh. Okay.
I don't know. She wouldn't burn something down unless it seemed prudent at the time.
I like her fire skills myself. Maybe it's better that we don't hang out sometimes. Fire! Kill them with fire!
You're drawing attention.
So when you guys head down to the docks, you find the warehouse easily, and just as it was described to you, it is probably the largest of the warehouses. And so
Okay.
also you guys have been around, you've traveled a little bit, so you've probably been to port cities before, where Gryphongaffe isn't necessarily a port city, but it's on a very large river. I almost envision it kind of like the Nile.
Cool.
So it's very well maintained. It's nice. Everything seems to be in pretty good repair. And the building that you guys are looking for, there is a guard outside of it, and there is no windows. It is a warehouse, and it is 2 stories tall.
There's no windows, you say?
Yeah, no windows
Okay.
on
How
the
many
first
doors?
floor. There is one. There's the one on the main thoroughfare. Then there's also like an alleyway with kind of like a cargo door.
Okay. Who all's around?
And if you spend some time and you kind of like investigate, you see there's also a door. There's a door on the other side of the building as well. It is, it's midday going into, late afternoon going into early evening. So there is definitely some foot traffic, people working or ships being loaded and unloaded still.
Okay.
The ships probably come in all hours of the day and the night.
Okay. And are there trees about too? Is it pretty woodsy sort of, the landscape?
No, it is definitely not. It's more urban.
Okay. So we're gonna need to be, if we're gonna be watching people, we need to be very careful and stealthy.
Invisibility?
Yes, something like that. At least I can be fast and move if I needed to, or dash
I
away.
can turn you invisible too.
Oh, great. That will be helpful. That
So I
would be
will
fun.
cast that as a 3rd level spell and turn us both invisible.
That would be cool. Okay. So what's the plan? We're gonna just sort of stay around this building and wait for people to come and go and start seeing patterns, or what's the plan do you think we should do? What do you think?
I'm going
How
to try
long
to
can
slip into the building when somebody else goes into the building.
Okay.
All you need to know is that you should not attack anybody while you're invisible, because that will break the invisibility, and you don't cast spells anyway, so I don't really have to worry about that.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
So after you guys watch for a little bit, what happens is another guard comes from inside the building, and then if you wait, and he stands outside for a bit, kind of like relieving the other guard, and then he does the other guard. You know, if you kind of follow him, he does a circuit of the exterior of the building, and then they kind of hang out and they're like BSing about what they did the night before and complaining about their wives, and the normal kind of stuff.
Right.
And then eventually, one of the guys is like, "All right, your turn," and you overhear him. Man, I hate going in there. It's always so creepy, so dark. And as he goes to enter the building, he pulls a stone out of his pouch and holds it up, and it glows.
Ooh.
And then he enters the building.
So key system here.
Here we go.
No. It sheds light. More like instead of a lantern or a torch, he's using.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm just gonna try and zip in there behind him.
Okay.
You might use your necklace even. Seems like that's what they were using, some kind of an amulet that we have.
Yeah, but it's more like a stone. It's like a flashlight. Think flashlight.
Okay. Got it. So we saw what it was. It was definitely a stone.
Yeah. And when he pulled it out from his pouch, it was glowing and it shed light. And not so much outside because it's still light out, but into the darkness, it definitely seemed to extend more light that way. All right, so you dart in behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Are you letting Agatha know what you're doing, or are you just kind
of? Yeah, I cast message, but I don't cast message. I can't cast while I'm invisible, or it breaks the invisibility. I whisper to her that I'm going in, and then I go in without waiting for.
We're gonna sort of.
Okay.
I'm just gonna follow her, invisible, and right behind her.
Okay. Give me a dexterity check for you to both squeeze through the door before it shuts.
Okay.
Are you stout or lightfoot halfling?
Lightfoot.
Okay, you have absolutely no problem. You can.
So do I still need to make the check?
No, you don't have to. Just Agatha.
Okay.
Just
9.
A 9?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you trip over something in front of you. And kind of come crashing through the door.
Oh no.
And the door like flies open and slams into the back of the wall. And what do you guys do?
Cast prestidigitation to make it really cold around where the guy is. Can I use prestidigitation for that? Is that a thing that prestidigitation can do? Hold on, let me check.
Yeah, I think it could do not really cold, but it could definitely
there might be a ghost in here kind of chill.
You could probably do like a gust of wind or drop the temperature like 5-10 degrees.
That's what I do.
Okay.
Right.
You can do that. It's not going to break I'm not going to say it's going to break your invisibility, but make a deception check.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that at all. Deception check.
Good idea though.
16.
16, absolutely. He's like, where'd that gust of wind come from? And the other guy's, wind? What are you talking about? I don't know. It blew the door. Didn't you feel it? I don't know. I'm just standing here. It's always windy out here.
Nice job, Kenneth.
And then,
awesome.
So you just have to quick roll out of the way so the door doesn't get slammed into you guys. But you're able to do it. And so it's really dark in here except for the light coming from his stone.
Okay. So I'm going to just be like frozen and like, oh crap. And then just staying really as close to Kenneth as I can. And I'm just going to kind of crouch and be quiet and just sort of listen.
Well, you can't actually see Kenneth. How are you going to stay close to her?
Oh, I can't see her while we're in the spell. We're invisible to each other too.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, well then I'm gonna just be as sneaky as I can and stay in the safest corner, as far away from everyone as I possibly can.
I mean, you guys could have absolutely like made up some kind of signal or something, or maybe you like keep a hand on her shoulder or something like that.
Right. Or just use common sense. When you're in here, don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's what I'm doing. I'm being quiet and stealthy.
Okay, so are you guys doing your own thing? You following the guard?
I'm following the guard because he has the only source of light, and I want to see what's in here.
So, okay, so immediately you see stacked up barrels and casks and crates and boxes. Everything's packaged up and stacked, 2, 3 on top of each other. The ceiling, even it's 2 stories in here, but it doesn't appear that there's a second floor except for as you guys follow him through. He's clearly just making rounds.
Okay.
And just looking to make sure nothing's disturbed, no one's in here. As he gets to the back of the warehouse, there is actually a set of stairs that leads up to it. It looks like an office. So there's only a very small portion of the building's second floor that's being used. The rest of it's all open air. And every once in a while he'll even hold stone up and he'll look up and you can see that there's rafters and car. He goes to the stairs leading up to the small office, and he takes the steps 2 at a time, gets to the top, and you see him test the door. Just make sure it's locked. He never, once he realizes it's locked, he doesn't even go in. He just comes back down. And literally, you can tell that he's kind of bored, and he's probably done this a million times.
Does the office have any windows?
Yes, the office does have some windows that look out on there's blinds there are blinds that are down, but there's windows and they kind of look out into the rest of the warehouse.
Okay. I'm gonna start groping around for Agnetha and try to pull her sleeve to keep her in here while the guy goes outside.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just wait.
All right, and judging from the last time, you think it's going to be probably a good 30 to 40 minutes before anybody even comes back in, if they do it at all.
Do we have any lock picking abilities?
Oh, I have a trick up my sleeve.
Yes.
All right, so he's gone now?
He is gone.
Okay, so I dropped the invisibility. I head right up to the office. Remembering whereabouts it was, basically. I mean, it's dark in here now, but I am going to cast silence around the door and then step back away from the zone of silence to cast knock into the silence so that it doesn't make a noise, because as we found out, knock makes a very loud sound when you cast it.
Yes. Both of us missed that last session, or the session when you used it, but yeah, apparently knock is very loud.
Well, that's cool that you can do that, though. That's fun. Very clever.
So when you do that, it disables the lock or knocks the door open or whatever it does. So you're able to gain access to the office.
Okay, gonna pull Agnetha in here with me, and if I can lock the door from the inside, I will do that so that we have as much time as we need to take a look around.
Okay. So, there's definitely some file cabinets. There's a coat closet. There's a desk. There's a bookshelf with books on it. There's a cabinet that's closed and it has a latch on it.
Okay, so is there a candle in here or something that I can light to get a...
Yeah, there's a lamp on the table.
Okay, I will check, I will light the lamp and then check the amount of oil that's in the lamp, see if I can find the oil for the lamp in the room so that I can refill it to that level when we're done looking around.
Okay.
The paranoia is real with me, all right?
You are very efficient. I like this. I'll be like, oh, I never would have thought of that. Agnetha, she's like, oh.
So, okay, the desk. What is on the desk?
The what?
The desk. So on the desk, there's some piles neatly piled up. There's the sand for when you write a letter. There's quills. There's an inkwell. And even just glancing at the papers, you see they look rather boring and mundane. They look like ledgers and manifests. And also, there's a schedule.
I'm gonna pull a sheet of parchment out of my own bag and copy down one of the papers. Like the handwriting sample is what I'm looking for, because I do know how to make forgeries from my charlatan background. So I want the sample to work from later if I need to.
Okay, yeah. So you basically take down a good mix of different characters and things that you would want to be able to mimic, especially things that are kind of specific to whoever's hand that wrote this.
No.
Can I roll for like perception or something to see if there's any like hidden doors underneath carpets on the floor, or any kind of hidden closets or something like that in this room?
There's actually there's a not hidden closet, and there's also a cabinet. There's filing cabinets. There's shelves. So you can search any of that if you like.
Okay, so I'm gonna go into the closet and look around and start stomping and looking through like different corners to see if there's any doors, looking under rugs, and just seeing if there's anything else that's in this room. I'm gonna try opening that chest that you mentioned and look in there if I can. Is it locked?
The first time she stomps, I'm gonna be like, no, do not do that.
And she's like, oh yeah, sorry. I'm like, there's
So,
gotta be
all
something else in this room.
So the closet is literally just that. There's some coats hanging up there. It looks like whoever uses this office keeps like a change of clothes and stuff in there, as well as there's some cleaning supplies, other supplies too, like the lamp oil and extra paper, extra quills, extra ink. If I didn't say that, there's a couple there's a stack of blank books.
So just random bunch of nothing.
Yeah, it looks really boring. Stuff that Agnetha would probably find boring.
Okay, so yeah, nothing in there. Agnetha's just gonna go around the room and just see what she can find, opening cabinets, being as quiet as she can.
So the actual cabinet is locked.
Okay.
So it's not like a particularly sturdy lock, and you could probably just snap it open if you want to, but it'll be noticeable.
And you can't open that lock again or anything like that?
I am almost out of level 2 spell slots, but I can use a level 4 or a level 3 spell slot to cast a level 2 spell. So yeah, I can do it again.
Okay.
So I will silence and I will knock that lock.
Okay.
But wait a second. Slot. If you only have one left, we can't use it can we lock when we leave?
If it's a padlock, we can just lock it again without having to fool with any magical means.
Okay, cool.
So my question is, knock, is that a area effect or is it a targeted?
Boop.
"60 feet, instantaneous. Choose an object within range." Okay. So it opens up the cabinet, and it looks like there is another variety of even more ledgers, books, and papers. Apparently, this stuff is considered more important or confidential because it is locked up. But at the bottom of the cabinet is actually a safe.
You don't say.
Bingo. It's probably a bunch of girlfriend letters.
I would imagine there's probably money in there, which is not what we came here to find, but I am going to mark the location of that safe, possibly for later.
If I find money, it's mine.
Well, at this point, you're going to have to probably take the whole safe.
I don't think that we should take that because then they'll know someone was here. I want to take a look at those notebooks, though. Also, too, one of the things you do realize is that the cabinet itself doesn't have a bottom to it. It's kind of just sitting over top of the safe. You can see on the inside, it's actually, the cabinet is screwed to the floor, so someone isn't going to be able to easily lift it. But that's where you can see that the safe is actually mounted to the floor as well.
So it just seems like an extra precaution that they took to kind of like put the safe out of sight, as well as, the cabinet itself had an extra lock, so an extra pain in the ass.
I take the lamp down with me onto the floor so that it's less likely to give away our position through the window. I know that the blinds are drawn, but I'm taking extra safety here.
Okay.
I'm going to sit on the floor with these notebooks, and I'm going to just browse through them and see if anything catches my attention.
Okay, so you start doing that for a little while, and then it doesn't take after a while you do hear the door again, like someone's coming in. So you like if you want to, you could easily just douse the lamp, and if you wait, he's going to do the same thing he did. He's going to do the circuit. He's going to come in and check the door to make sure it's still locked.
I did lock it behind me.
Okay, then you're good.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take long before you hear someone. They come, they rattle the doorknob, they hear him tromp back down the steps, and they complete the circuit, and then they leave. And then you're going to get another like 30-40 minutes out of it.
And I relight the lamp and continue to browse these documents.
So everything's really thorough, everything's legit, and it seems boring until you get to like one place. And when you get to the one place, it almost looks like gibberish. But at the same time, it's written in a format that reminds you of how all the other ledgers are written, and from this individual. So they look like, basically, what the goods are, where they came from, value, what they think they could sell it for. So like that format is there, except for you can't really make sense of where it's going, where it came from, and what it is.
I meticulously copy that down.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be a good thing to keep written down for sure. So it's just mostly paper and stuff, like documents.
Now, how long does the gibberish passage go on?
If at first, one of the things you actually kind of realize as you're glancing through when you found it, you'd actually passed it a couple of times. It's almost written in a way that makes like your eyes just kind of like bypass it.
Oh, that's clever.
That and it's kind of hidden throughout the books, so it pops up regularly. But if you kind of like, if you compare it to the other writings, the pattern is very similar. Not so much that it's a pattern, but a schedule. Like you can see a schedule. Oh, these goods come in from this point, and they come in this often, and they go out that every so many days, weeks, months, whatever it is.
Right.
Okay.
So when's the last? We should look at the last date written.
Well, that's going to be after we break the code, which we haven't done yet, and we're not going to be able to do right away. Because I am not as smart as Defexis. We might need to give this to her.
By the way, sorry guys, I'm having a lot of cutting out, so I'm having a hard time hearing if I'm like repeating questions and stuff.
You can try and turn your bandwidth down a little bit if you're having problems. That will help sometimes.
Okay.
In the middle of the screen, you have the toolbar and the little cog and the camera, but between the two of them is the bandwidth.
Anyways, go ahead. I gave it's just sort of bits and pieces. So
okay, so one of the things you can kind of pick up is like you can kind of figure out the schedule, the timing, without actually breaking any of the other code, only based upon where it's placed in the book, because you can clearly see with the stuff that's coming in from Crathon Gulch or Crushapathian, and the things that are leaving Gryphongaffe. So that part is really easy to see, and you can also see that a lot of the goods are either going to the city of Rylor, or they're going to Drellic, the main capital.
Can I, by comparing the number of characters when it says where these things are coming from and going to figure out what some of the letters are that way?
Make an intelligence check.
Oh, good. Do I get my Jack of all trades bonus to this?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, that's only going to be a 10.
Okay, you're not quite able to crack anything. But you do have it with you have copied it down.
Yeah. I'll copy down a normal page too so that I can show that to Defixis because I know she'll be able to do it.
Okay. The code.
And is there anything else in the cabinet?
Everything else is kind of mundane. There's a couple like knickknacks that are kind of nice, but that might be like semi-valuable. But other than that, no. Mainly, it looked like they were keeping the what looked to be the more important ledgers in there.
How badly do we want to know what's in this safe, Agnetha?
That if it's going to be making a lot of sound, depends.
It's not. I can do it one more time, but that'll be it.
What do we have to lose if we don't have to really lock it? So on the way out, we don't have to use any of your skills.
Right.
Again.
I am a little bit concerned about being able to lock the office door on the way out, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Wait, you're not sure? No, I don't know. Well, what do you think? Should we?
It might be one of those doors that we can lock and shut and it'll stay locked, and hopefully that's the case, but we'll see. Yeah, all right. I don't know if knock will work on a safe door or not, but I'm going to go ahead and try that combination one more time, and that will be like the end of my spell slots.
Okay, but wait, how many minutes do we have, Dave, before the guy comes back? It's like a 40-minute route. You said.
Actually, Agatha brings up a really good point. It's probably her patience as a hunter and spending so much time in the wilderness that made her think of that. But yeah, so she tells you, she does the math in her head and says you probably should wait.
Yeah.
With the next pass.
Okay. So we'll wait.
And just as I described before, happens again. You do your combo. The safe pops open, and immediately, the first thing that your eyes see is the glitter of the lamplight reflecting off of 2 gold bars and 3 silver bars, trade bars, which are worth a small fortune. And there is 1 neat square of paper.
Paper. There's no way we're going to be able to get either like the gold or the silver out of here without anybody noticing, and they will notice it is gone. So
I won't steal it.
I'm going to take a look at the piece of paper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So when you match up the paper, it's literally the cipher.
Oh my god, I copied that down. So mad at myself.
Well, you can, but you don't actually even need to. Like, you literally take it and lay it right next to what you either wrote or the book itself, and it literally just tells you.
All right, so what does it say?
What those say. So, it's basically this is where it gets a little more specific than any of the other ledgers, where not only does it tell you where these deliveries are going to in Rylor and Drellic, but they're actually like addresses, and they're specific addresses. And then when you see the goods, you're looking at them, and it's like sacrificial dagger, vestments of Narcitus, and other. It's all blood cultist stuff.
Oh, good.
And the stuff is actually being brought in, snuck in. It gives a couple names. It gives actual names. And what languages do you speak?
I can speak Elvish, Dwarvish, Common, and Gnomish.
Common, Halfling, and Sylvan.
Okay. Give me a intelligence check. You both can, but Kenna, you can apply your jack of all trades to it.
Woo! 20.
Okay. They are orc names.
That's heavy. So, do any of the names stand out to me? Like, I would probably write them down so that I could remember who they were. Like, I don't need the names immediately, but if somebody pops up that has one of those names, maybe just like let me know that was one of the names in the ledger, because she'd remember. She's making it a point to memorize the names.
Okay. Although you kind of feel like, between what you learned from the Pixies and what you're seeing here, that these aren't people that are coming through the town.
Right.
You feel like but these are probably,
suppliers.
these are suppliers of contacts.
Right.
And it also either means the sun is the only one that's using this office and running things, or there's more people involved.
Right. Well, okay then. I'm going to go ahead and very carefully pack everything exactly where it was left. Close the safe. Make sure it locks itself, because if it doesn't, we're in trouble. Like, does it lock back?
Yes. You're able to pretty much set everything up, and it relatches.
Okay. Gonna refill the oil lantern back up to where it was when I saw it to begin with, and we're gonna nope on out of here, and none will be the wiser, hopefully.
This is what we hope. Yes. Let's GTFO. Hasn't been that long since this has all happened, right? So we have enough time to leave right now.
Yes. Yeah, you do have time. So the question is, do you have another invisibility spell left?
Let me check this. That is a level 2 spell, but I do have 1 level 4 slot left, and if I cast it as a higher level, I can use another target, so I can make us both invisible to get out of here.
Wonderful. Great. Thanks for explaining your spells, too. That really helps for me and people watching, everyone. That's great. Yeah.
So you're able to do that, time it, you wait, the door opens from the come in, and as he does that, you slip on out. And the guy that's standing there looks bored and could care less, isn't really paying attention that much. It doesn't seem like they ever have to experience, or they never seem to experience trouble or are expecting any for that matter. So where are you guys headed now?
Well, that is a very good question, Agnetha. Where are we headed now? Like, clutching my notebook to my chest, thinking about all of this, because it's a lot for my tiny brain to handle.
Agnetha would probably just want to go to the bar or just sit there and wait and watch people.
Okay, let's go to the bar then. Let's go to our usual dive and talk this out.
If anything, there's people that come and go in there. You might see some drama, or you might hear of something since we're waiting.
I do like hearing of things.
We can go into town at least, and then see what happens as we walk into town. We'll start from
there. Do
there.
we want to go to our usual bar, or do we want to sit somewhere else for the evening and see what happens then?
Probably sit somewhere else.
Okay. So there is the Poor Boys Pub. That's our regular place. There's no reason to go there. There's no reason to go to the Busted Donkey. We're probably not wanted there right now. There's the Chisel and Chalice and the Lionheart Inn that I have written down here. Have you been to either of those?
The Chisel and Chalice.
Yeah, Agnetha has been there to the Chisel and Chalice with Harak one time.
It was steamy, I mentioned to Kenna.
Well, that could be useful. All right, let's
She
go.
pokes you.
Do not touch me. I am the
So we're
knight.
gonna just walk into town.
So the Chisel and Chalice is actually a place it's run by an entertainer, a bard. So Brees is the owner, and he kind of considers himself a bit of a scholar and a poet. And it's kind of like the place where people like to come and tell. It's like the medieval beatnik version of I don't know what you would call one of those places. But that's exactly what it is. So there's always tales being told, poetry being recited, and it's kind of, they're kind of a little uppity there.
So it's the hipster place.
It is the hipster place, yes. And you can see the owner, Breeze. He's easy to pick out because he's dressed rather foppishly, and he just seems to go from patron to patron, telling stories. At some point, it's going to happen where he's close enough for you to overhear some of his stories, and what he mentions is that the noble house of Halrith, which used to be a very prominent house in the region, but fell on hard times, and now he tends to this place. And as you kind of like talk to the other patrons, you realize there's a lot of would-be performers and artists in here, as well as nobles that are slumming it.
Wow. Okay.
There's performances are going on currently. They're decent. They're not bad.
Nice.
And there's a couple of things on the menu that might be of interest. There's a spiced blood wine, a dwarven night bloom wine. They of course have dwarven mushroom mead in here as well. Everyone seems to have that.
What the hell with it? Since there's this weird blood thing going on, and I look at Ken and I'm like, I want the blood wine.
I don't know what a good idea that is, but all right, let's do it.
So there is also the other one other thing that although Kenna would not necessarily be aware of it, but both Daff and Agnetha would be. So the Scarlet Sisterhood is a sorority that belongs to the Company of the Nag, which is this kind of like mercenary / adventuring company that came about to fight tyranny and basically put down an oppressive overlord. Well, it used to be basically all men until there was an evil sorceress. Sometimes the story tells, other times it is a dark fey creature, but she ensnared the hearts and minds and souls of all the men folk, and it was their sisters, their daughters, their wives that had to raise up and put this menace down and save the men. And from that, the Scarlet Sisterhood was formed after a bloody battle. Many of them were covered in the blood of their enemies, and even their own and their fallen sisters, as they reclaimed their menfolk. And from that day forth, women have been welcomed into the Nag and into this in particular sorority called the Scarlet Sisterhood. Well, within the Scarlet Sisterhood, there are circles that get formed, and it takes 3 or more members to do it. And no one is really sure how or why this happens. Although all the sisters in the sorority are members, not all of them belong to circles. It's a special thing that happens that bonds particular women together in this order. And you 3 have been blessed or cursed, as the case may be, with this special bond. So Agnetha would be able to then share that information with Kenna, and by default, you are now a member of the Scarlet Sisterhood.
Mm-hmm. That's really neat.
And wearing
all about it.
Wearing that signet automatically, anyone who is a member of the Nag would recognize that.
Very cool.
So you can also note that down somewheres.
Yes.
Awesome. So since this has all happened to us, like, how are we feeling at this point?
You actually
blood.
You actually feel good, like after after the actual ceremony kind of occurred. You guys are kind of like getting that dopamine high, so you guys felt you had the endorphins going, so you guys felt pretty good and charged up.
Okay. Awesome.
Except for
like a new confidence.
Yes, except for Daff, but she's got that weird thing with Borscht going on that messes her up.
Okay, awesome.
So I'm going to start speaking in Sylvan to Agnetha, because I feel like that's the language that we both know it's the only language we both know that isn't common, actually. So really, it's not just the least likely for other people to be able to pick up on and understand, but you know what I mean. Yeah. So I'm going to start having a conversation with you and Sylvan about what we want to do with this information. Like, should we tell somebody, or should we squirrel that away for future reference?
For now, let's wait on telling anybody, since it's so new, and since there could be other events that happen. Give things time, I find. It's usually a good idea.
We're also in the middle of like 3 other quests right now.
Yeah. So I don't know. This place doesn't seem like there's a lot of drama or anything going on. This is like a chill sort of a hangout spot, right? You said it was sort of, sorry, you were cutting out. It's sort of like the hipster hangout.
Yes.
Is what you're saying? Okay. We could hang out here for a little while if you think it will help, or we can just sort of keep walking through town. What do you think, Kenna?
Well, I think we should have our drinks and then we should probably keep walking because I don't see this as being one of those days where we just sit around and drink. I feel like we should be doing stuff. We should be causing trouble.
Yeah, I feel like walking around and being active, at least moving our feet, is a good thing right now. But let's stay on the low. Let's make sure that we're using just being more quiet than usual, maybe. And like, I guess for me, Agnetha would probably want to talk to people a lot or something, kind of like in and out of different shops, and then she just goes away. We're quiet right now.
I want to go shopping. That sounds like a great idea. Let's do it.
We can always find out drama from the local bitches. Don't ever forget that.
I know.
Owners. Oh my goodness.
Who do you think you're talking to? Come now.
I don't
Trouble
think.
that can happen.
I think it's probably a bit past the time when the shops would be open.
Okay.
Because, it was when you guys started heading toward trying to figure out what was going on with Nolan and his family. It was late afternoon, so by the time you actually snuck down or went to the docks, snuck in, got out, came to the Chisel and Chalice, it's probably like 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Okay. So it's a good time when mischief might start happening. Go ahead.
So, when you guys leave,
Okay.
out of the shadows steps a guy wearing kind of like regular workman clothes, and it only takes an instant especially for Agnetha to recognize him.
Okay.
And it is Rolo, and it is the guy that you had been hanging out with in the Busted Donkey, and he actually tried to slip you a Mickey. So you definitely remember that guy.
Did you tell us about that?
Oh, I would have told you. Yeah, I would fire gossip for sure.
Oh, buddy, we're gonna have some words.
So he steps out of the shadows and goes, you had given him an alias, but I don't remember what it was. So he calls you by that name. And hey, I've been looking for you all over.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm terribly sorry, but you cut out, and I did him. And what? I run into him, and he says what to me?
So he runs into you, and you had given him an alias, and he calls you by that name. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, it was something. Oh, it was the arm breaker or something. Was that what it was?
No,
Lisa or something.
Yeah, but
I can't remember.
It doesn't matter. But he calls you by that name, and he says, "I've been looking all over for you. You never came back. You never came back to the Busted Donkey, and I needed to talk to you."
Oh my God. Okay, so Agnetha's just like, ugh. Like runs into him and like tries to just be like, oh hey, what's up? And trying to act casual.
I'm giving him the death stare.
What's with the little kid you're hanging around with? She seems kind of angry.
Oh, bitch, please.
I'm gonna be like, excuse me?
Like, you're gonna need to hold her back. She's really mad now.
Like, hey buddy, if you start offending my friend, there's gonna be some trouble. And Agnetha's just gonna stand up for Kenna. She's gonna get really mad that someone insulted her halfling. Okay.
Whoa, what's the problem?
No,
I don't want no trouble. She just looks angry.
I'm not a child. I'm a
dude,
halfling, and
I want
should
you to
expect
stay away
people
from
to
me.
get angry if you're gonna go drugging people.
Agnetha's just gonna say to him, yeah, I didn't come back because actually, I don't know if I really like that place very much. Sorry. So probably won't see me around again. So just sort of
He
makes him-
squats down in front of Kenna and kind of like looks under the hat. He goes, "Oh yeah. I'm sorry, miss. I didn't mean it. You are one of those halflings, like the mayor."
Yeah.
And I'm gonna squat down and look at him in the face and go, "Are you being a smartass right now?"
Because if you're being a smartass right now, I can headbutt you. That's a thing that can happen.
I wouldn't mess with her.
No. I didn't come here to fight. I just came here to talk. I heard, I heard some things, and I heard you guys have been asking around about Gus and Darwood. Remember, I told you to stay away from Darwood.
Can I roll a charisma check to see if I can like give him another rumor that isn't true and be like, "What? I've never heard that. I heard this and this." Just start spreading bullshit to him too, so that he's confused.
Hold on, I want to know what he's saying.
You could absolutely do that, but if you remember, you had asked them about Darwood and his crew, and him and his friends, even though they were kind of jerks and slimy, they were trying to warn you to stay away from them.
Oh yeah, so Agnetha's just gonna say, "No, I don't know anything about Durwood other than what you guys, said." So I mean, I don't know what you're. I don't know what you're.
Well, so a lot of stuff went down. His house burned down. He's disappeared. You heard about all the monsters, all the people turning into monsters from that stuff he was selling.
What? See, we were out of town for the last few days, so that's really crazy. I did not hear about this. We are literally just coming back into town.
That's true. We have been gone.
Tell me what happened. Oh my god.
Well, look.
The Monty alarm goes off. See, my dog doesn't like you. And he
So I'm
likes
gonna play
everyone.
So, look, I don't know, if you're playing a game with me or what, but I know something happened and you were asking about Durwood and now he's gone. And then there's these problems with Gus. Gus got drugged down to the local watch station by her oxmen. And then I heard these stories about Gus, turning on Durwood, and I really don't think it's true. I mean, Gus does whatever pays for people with the coin all spends. He don't care. He turns a blind eye, but he wasn't involved. I know Gus. He's just
Really?
I mean, I wouldn't trust him, but he's all right.
All right. Well, yeah. I have nothing to do with this. I was just wondering what guys like you were doing around in a pub, and I wondered about the pub itself. I'm an entrepreneur of pubs, so I like to go around and test wine.
Well, I did a
What
little.
you're looking for is connoisseur.
Wine connoisseur. What did I say?
Entrepreneur.
Thank you, my friend. Yes. I like wine a lot. Excuse me.
She's had a lot.
I've had a little time to do some poking around,
Okay.
and Gus used to help me out when I was down on my luck. So I want to help him out and get him uninvolved with this stuff. I can tell you where to find Durwood.
Why would
Keep talking.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my curiosity just spiked above my anger levels.
And look, I kind of know who you guys are. Like I said, I asked around. I mean, listen, there's not too many half-elven lasses dragging ogres into the town with their hands tied up and all.
Look, that guy pissed me off. I'm not involved with your schemes.
I'm just saying, I don't care about that either way. And
I want to know where Darwood is. I want to know all the things.
all right, east of the town, there's a forest, and you basically, if you go an hour into the forest, straight in, you're gonna come to an ancient oak. It's been hit by lightning and it's split. Once you find that tree, you turn to the north from there, and you're gonna run into a cave. It's not really a cave. It's more like a giant hole in the ground.
What are you talking about, man?
Listen, I'm telling you, once you get to the split tree, you go north, you walk to the clearing. In the center of that clearing, there's a hole in the ground. It might be covered. It might be hard to find, a little bit hard to find, but it's the only clearing.
Okay. So Agnetha's just sort of weirded out, like that he's telling her this information, and so she's gonna look at Kenna and just be like, "What?"
Kenna's making notes.
And how are you involved in this, buddy?
Well, I'm not. You never even talked to me.
How do you know then?
How do I know?
Mhm.
I've lived in Gryphongaffe all my life.
So what's so special about
Darwood's a stranger here, and
Darwood is.
Darwood is, and I don't like him. I told you, it's bad business, and this is affecting Gus.
I bet you know a lot of things, don't you?
I've been here a long time.
All right. That's fair.
What's this character's name again?
Rolo.
Rolo, that's right. Well, all right. So I'm gonna definitely hear him out, and I'll be like, all right, man. Well, thanks for the information. I mean, I don't know. What's
You
gonna
don't really,
happen,
you don't need to make an insight check to know that he seems pretty nervous talking to you guys.
Okay. So I'm like, you know what? Thanks for the information. If there's anything else that you know about, or if there's something you think you need to tell me, just come to me and find me. You know, I'll probably be around the pubs here and there.
Yeah, there's no reason that we can't be friends, but if I ever hear about you drugging someone again, I'm gonna cut you.
Hey, I've never drugged anybody, and he kind of like looks
You are
around.
so bullshitting me.
Who did I drug?
I point to her.
She never. I mean, I never drug her.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's right. He did try to drug me. I'm sorry, I missed that detail. Yeah, he did. So Agnetha's not going to be very nice to him. 'Cause she knows, right? Doesn't Agnetha know that she? That
Yeah,
he
otherwise
yeah,
I would
yeah.
have told me about it.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I told you about that. So, oh my god.
You know, that has got to stop.
You need to walk
Just
away.
because you failed doesn't mean you didn't do it.
Hey, I didn't know she was the arm breaker. I would have never tried that.
It doesn't matter who she is.
I'm gonna grab him by his shirt and like tell him, I'm like, if you ever call me Armbreaker again, I will smash your face.
Oh.
I'm sorry, but I heard people said you broke an ogre's arm once arm wrestling.
Agnetha's just gonna stare at him.
Please don't break my arms.
I'll be like, you know what?
I need them to work.
I need, oh my god. I need a bath and I need to sharpen my sword. Kenna, this is too much for me. I'm gonna kill him.
No,
Get
you're
me
not
outta
gonna kill
here.
him. Let's go. If
Get
he
me
drugs
outta here.
anybody else, then we can kill him.
Okay,
But we'll
seriously,
break his legs
don't drug
first.
people and stay away from Darewood.
I was going to go near Darwood anyway, and like as soon as his feet hit the ground, he's like off. He moves pretty. He moves pretty fast for a big guy.
Okay, so Kenna, what are we gonna do with this information from Dolly Lop? That's what I'm gonna call him.
Dolly Lop. Yeah, eventually we're gonna go get Darewood, but we should definitely wait until we have Defexus with us to do that.
You don't want to go out to the tree trunk, huh?
Not right now. No, we're not going without our wizard. Do we look suicidal? I don't think so.
Fire could be useful around trees. Just saying.
Uh-huh. No, wait. No. We're not setting the forest on fire. You're an elf.
So why
would
go
you say
without?
that?
Let's go without Fire Queen and see what happens then.
You. Come on.
How far out of town is this place? Would we just follow this trail and find out where it goes?
It's a couple hours. Not that far.
Okay, so all right, Kenna. What should we do now? We're gonna maybe not be. All I wanted to do was go shopping, and then I had to run into that guy. I'm so triggered right now,
And now everything is closed.
and it's late. So
The question is, are you full of so much rage you need a bath?
yes.
Okay, well then let's go find a bath. You kill me.
I need a rage bath. That's gonna be my new thing.
Rage bath. Yes.
Rage bubbles. Yes.
All right. Is there like a bathhouse anywhere? Or are we just gonna have to go find a tavern that we can like get a bath
Yeah. Is it like Rome? Can I go to a bathhouse?
This town is not quite big enough to actually have a bathhouse. You guys might have to start one.
in? That is on our list of things to do if the population ever rockets high enough. Bathhouse, it's happening.
We're
Megan-
gonna have the ladies' pub and a bathhouse.
Megan, do you have Cheetos there by chance?
No. No, is that a Mountain Dew joke? I'm not supposed to be drinking pop. I'm supposed to be on a wedding diet, so don't tell anyone.
Well, no one will know.
Nope.
Drink wine instead. No soda, just wine.
I think that's even worse, but okay.
Oh.
I'll find out.
I just think it's funny you're playing D&D and drinking Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
I love it. It's essential. Here we go. Well, here we go.
So Doug is like 16 people will know, but that's not including the people that are watching the replay. And there's 2 of us on here, so that's 18 people. And I forgot to share it out before we started, so we're a little late tonight, I think.
That's okay.
So the last time you got a bath was at the Poor Man's Pub, and you had a room and had it drawn up there. Pretty much any tavern you can kind of do that at.
Well, we know that the baths at the Poor Man's Pub are good, so. Man, I mean, opening a bathhouse is not a bad idea, though. We could get like different scented salts and like manicure stuff. That would be neat.
Indeed, this town might need one.
I'm like making notes about that, like in my to-do later portion of my notebook.
Gryphongaffe needs a bathhouse. Since it's got the whole, hipster thing going on,
Well,
gotta
it's
have a bathhouse.
It's definitely up and coming. You guys can make it happen.
Yes. All right, so yes, Poor Boy's Pub.
Okay, let's do it. We'll probably just head back there then and see what happens along the way. And
so so the same server. I believe her name was like Laura or something along those lines. That you guys have dealt with in the past. I have to organize my notes at some point. She when you said that you need a bath and you need the water drawn or whatnot, she looks at you and she gets real serious and for a second, and she's like, "Ma'am, are you full of rage and need to wash it away again?"
yes, my lady, only your bathtubs can do the good cure of what I need.
So the chat, they're asking how much revenue would the bathhouse garner. I'd have to look at the downtime rolls and see.
Everybody's filthy in this town. They're all like fishermen and adventurers. I'm sure people would use it.
We'd have to have a really good plumbing system and like the good tubing, I guess is.
Well, when you put it that way, though, Megan, I'm thinking of the people you'd have to share the bathhouse with. It's becoming less appealing.
Yeah, I was thinking more of a bunch of ladies, but then I was like, wait a second, anybody could come to this place.
Just have like a divider wall between the 2 tubs and have it like split up that way.
Because that would work.
Sorta.
You'd have people like, what did I call
climbing
him?
over the wall.
Yeah.
I'm picturing Troll in the bathhouse, scrubbing, getting scrubbed by a bunch of people.
He'd be like, I heard of a bathhouse. Oh my god.
You cannot deny it would make the city a more pleasant place to live.
They're laughing about the idea of ogre bouncers and would they charge more for goblins?
I would make it really expensive for goblins.
The Fixus would have something to say about that, I'm sure.
Yeah, but like, how else are you going to get them clean? You got to encourage them.
Oh my god.
So Laura comes in. She's got the hot water ready for you, and she assists you guys with whatever you need help with. Offers to bring in if you guys want food or drink to bring it into you.
Okay.
Or to scrub your back or whatever, however she can help.
Nice. I like this lady. She can scrub my back.
She's like, not like that, ma'am.
Or can I? Are we gonna have
me.
like a? Are we gonna have like a cool jacuzzi tub for the both of us? We can sit in there and bullshit and have drinks and stuff and get all steamy.
If they
Not
have
like
a tub
that.
that big, I guess it wouldn't need to be that big. I'm a small person.
Yeah,
I
they
require
definitely-
lots of bubbles.
So they bring in buckets
definitely-
full of hot water and then they bring in the soaps and they put them in the right mix to make them bubble up.
Okay.
So you guys are able to chill out, have drinks brought in.
Nice. This is legit. I like this place.
Okay, so do you think that the Soul Rosses, and I'm waiting until like everybody's out of the room to talk to her about this, do you think they actually are cultists, or do you think they're just supplying cultists?
It feels like they're a supplier to me. That's what I was thinking. Just because, yeah, they live on the docks. I mean, why wouldn't they do that?
I guess that would make sense, but I mean, if they were cultists, they wouldn't want anybody to know about it. What with this town is like 2 hairs breadths away from going on a witch hunt, and I'm pretty sure they've already done it.
They all do business together, but they're a part of a cult.
That's crazy.
Oh, people do it all over the world. Ashland, Oregon. Worst place ever for that shit.
Okay, also, sidebar, maybe it is not such a good idea to tell people about the weird blood thing that happened in that vision and stuff, because they're already really paranoid about blood cultists.
Yeah. I
Let's
don't
just
think
keep
we should
that part to ourselves.
I agree with you there. That was kind of weird. So what's with that? How's your finger doing, by the way?
Fine. Yours?
I have a boo-boo.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't have any spells left to cure it. Actually, wait a minute. I do have Cure Wounds. That's a 1st level spell.
It's already
kiss it.
it's already actually formed over into a scar.
I kiss your finger.
Really?
And it has a particular shape. It doesn't look like a prick or a cut, and the scar is actually bigger than you would expect from the wound that you had there. Like there shouldn't be a scar at all, actually, because it was should be so small. But there is actually a white scar on each of your pointer fingers. You can tell me what it looks like.
I imagined it like a crescent moon or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my first thought was a lightning bolt, and then I remembered that was Harry Potter, so crescent moon. I'm down with that.
Did you say there was like a lightning bolt on it too, or something like that?
That's on the
There's
bridge.
like a crescent.
On the brooch, there's a crescent with a sword going from point to point, and then there's like a lightning bolt that crosses it.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yes. So you guys have the crescent scar on your finger, which makes 0 sense.
I like it though. Agnetha's gonna be like, yeah, I like that. Weird. I don't know what it is, but I feel better somehow. I feel strong. I wanted to beat that guy, but I wasn't gonna do it in the streets.
I might have.
Megan, did you decide on a feat?
Yes. Do I need to tell you right now, or can I talk to you about it after the game?
You can talk to me after again. That's fine. I was just
Okay.
curious.
So what time of night is it now? It's probably like getting late, right?
It is.
So should we just go to bed, or should we go out and sort of like sit under the stars? Agnetha likes to smoke a lot, so she might go out and sit there and maybe hear something.
Well, I need to go home, so fortunately, that's where the pipeweed is. So we'll just head
I
back
have
to the
some right
compound,
here.
sit on top of the bardo, and get into some recreational activities, and then go to bed. And tomorrow we can do it all over again,
All right.
minus the breaking and entering part.
So it will be a journey back. So I figured I had a little stash. We could just do it on the way back and kick.
All right, cool. I mean, not that my parents don't care, like halflings.
Don't worry, I'll talk to Midge. No worries.
She's not gonna care. I promise.
You guys go back, and as you approach the compound, and actually the halflings have been quite productive. You know, they've got partial buildings are up, and it looks like another week or two they'll actually be out of the wagons and indoors.
Okay.
For the most part, but you know, as you guys are about to come around a corner, you see half of a face peer around the wagon, and you see one large eye looking at you, the two of you, and in a voice that is supposed to be hushed and whispered, but isn't. You hear Troll call out to the two of you, "Hey, I need to sleep. I'm having trouble sleeping."
Oh, I know what you're up to.
Yeah,
Come on.
We just yell at him in the forest and start laughing.
And sit down in a circle with Troll.
Be like, I have the
that
perfect
70s
thing.
show.
I have the perfect thing. Agnatha had rolled a secret stash joint right behind his favorite log a couple nights before that. Just gonna bring that out and smoke him.
So if you kind of sit Indian style next to him, kind of doesn't even come up to his crossed the knee on his crossed legs.
Oh my god, you're so small. It's so cute.
But he is having a bit of a problem, because the last time you guys had done this with him, you had actually made a big joint, and this time it's regular size, and you're looking at his fingers and what you guys are passing back and forth.
You know what? Okay, so we'll just roll a bigger one this time. But I've got this thing. In my mind, the wheels are turning, and I'm gonna go into town tomorrow and have somebody make a troll-sized pipe for Troll.
There you go. That's a great idea.
Metal worker or something.
You could probably definitely have that done, or not that I know anything about these things, or you could always just shotgun Troll.
I am not gonna shotgun Troll. That's not gonna happen.
What's
He'd eat my head because he's huge. No.
Wait, what? What would he do?
Nothing. Never. Just I don't even come up to his knee, and his mouth is probably big enough that he could just swallow my head in one bite if he wanted to. It's just not gonna happen.
Well, we could always try to get him. Never mind. We're not gonna do this tonight. But look, Troll, this is all I have, so you're gonna have to be happy with it.
I'll talk to somebody tomorrow in town and get a troll-sized pipe made, and that should make him happy.
That probably will make him happy. So you guys hang out with Troll for a while, and then he eventually wanders off and crawls under one of the wagons to go to sleep.
Aw. So I tried to kill him once, and now I smoke weed with him.
Yep. Yeah, we're friends. That's how it happens.
How things change in the world.
Well, as Troll said, that was a long time ago. It was weeks.
I'm just gonna pat his foot, be like, "Good Troll, good night."
Yep. Good night, everybody.
On that, I need an intermission. Hold on.
Okay.
Just entirely too amused.
So you got your wards crated tonight?
Oh, yes.
They don't seem very happy about it.
No, they're not. It's fine. I'll get them out after the game. My glasses are fogged up. But I don't know why I stopped talking while I was cleaning my glasses. It's not like that stops me from being able to hear things.
I don't like talking when I don't have my glasses on. It weirds me out because my vision is so bad.
So that counts as a long rest. Spell slots, yes.
Yeah, you guys will be able to take a long rest.
Good. Oh, I'm really excited because I like knowing things that other people don't know and that I'm not supposed to know.
You personally or Kenna?
Kenna is a very nosy halfling. So she'll like spend the morning going over her notes again.
Okay.
There's a reason she writes everything down.
So you're excited that you know things that people don't know? That
Yeah.
I caught on?
Yeah, I should probably like come up with a code or something so that if somebody else gets my notes, they can't read them, but I don't have one yet.
Something to work on.
Yep.
On the
Yeah,
wish list.
Don't tell Dave that. Shh.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't be the first time I'd gotten myself in trouble and shot myself in the foot, would it?
So you guys kind of have an early night for you guys anyway.
Okay.
So you're probably up and about a little bit earlier. The normal work is going on. Troll is happily lifting things and putting things down, picking things up. It's pretty much all he's really good for, and and some digging. But Lala Midge is out there with her switch, directing him.
Oh, she's so funny. Yeah, I need to go find a metal worker or a carpenter or something like that.
Okay, well, you can find either one. There, there's a smith in town, or you can look for a carpenter.
A smith would probably be better. I don't think that burning things in something made of wood is the best idea for a troll, or for a troll, that is.
So there's Quintel's Smithy is probably the best known blacksmith in town.
Yes, good. That one then.
Like metaphysical shops in this town. Can I go wander about and find cool stuff?
Yeah, there are shops.
So,
when you go into his shop, it's fairly open, and the forge is actually right there when you walk in. It's pretty hot, and you see him standing there. He's pretty. He's actually a little bit taller than Agnetha, and she's really tall, powerfully built, completely bald. He's got dark brown eyes, and his skin is nearly as dark as the anvil that he's working upon.
Well, hi there.
And he's like stops in mid swing. Greetings. What can I do for you, little one?
The big boy.
Please don't call me that.
She's like, God damn it.
You are little. Well, but then again, most of the people in town are little.
Okay, so here's the situation. Have you seen the ogre working on the halfling compound?
Yeah, he's kind of hard to miss. I can't believe they let him in here. Goblins, ogres, they let anybody in nowadays.
Yeah, he's not so bad. Actually, what I need is I need to get something made. I need to get like a pipe big enough for him to smoke out of it. I'm not kidding. This isn't a joke. I'm not punking you.
If you want him to behave, you let him smoke.
Like,
that is a very interesting way of controlling the monstrous creatures of the region. Not going. Are you? What kind of pipe do you want? Do you just want it to be functional? Do you need something fancy?
no, just functional. I mean, like he's not gonna care.
He likes organic, okay? So just make it.
Well, I generally don't just make any old thing. Like, there's other smiths in town, but I don't like to. I don't really come off as a bragger, but I'm really good. I spend most of my time making, weapons and armor, and like my father and his father before him. But it seems like an interesting project.
How would you go about it, and how much would you charge for it?
Well, for for a gold piece, I can do something really, really good.
All right.
Is
So I
gold
pay
worth a
him
lot?
gold. I'm not even gonna barter with that. That's actually less than I was expecting to pay for this. So
In this world, is gold sort of the main currency, or is it sort of like silver and all that other stuff too? So gold is pretty good, right?
Yeah. I mean, copper and silver are far more common than gold. Wealthy people, adventurers, and merchants deal in gold. Everyone else would either be bartering or using silver and copper.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, when you saw those trade bars, that kind of really showed how rich that family was. But come back in 2 days and it should be ready. I have a couple things I have to clear off my docket, but then I'll get right to it.
excellent. Thanks. We'll be back in a couple days then.
Awesome.
Excellent. Don't forget to tell all your halfling friends about my shop.
Oh, I will absolutely let them know.
I know you folks are new to town. I saw the wagons coming in.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We're pretty used to being on the road, but this town thing is pretty much more interesting than I thought it would be.
Yes.
Gryphongaffe.
Gryphongaffe has been quite the interesting place. It's not really why I settled down here, but I've been here so long, it's home now. Every once in a while I think about leaving, but I don't know, where would I go?
Before I leave, can I bribe him into making me a pipe too?
I don't think that counts as bribery.
Yeah, I want a cool pipe that has like little owl wings like shooting off the edges of it.
I could absolutely do that.
Yes. All right. Kenna, I'm like, just smoke, okay?
It's a little more intricate than the other one I was going to work on, but I could definitely do it for a gold and a half.
Done.
And I'll put a rush on it so we get them both done at the same time.
Cool.
Thank you, kind sir. You are most wonderful. Thank you. So, Kenna, do you want to go see if there's any cool like other shops in town that are sort of what you would call it, flea market? I guess there'd probably be like a really cool flea market in this town, I would imagine.
Yeah, let's see what we can find. Let's just go browse and see what shops there are to go to.
Okay.
Well, there's definitely
You might hear.
There's a marketplace where there's different, not necessarily shops as much as it's just stalls.
Right.
It's kind of like in the center of the town square. They set up every day. They break down every night. So there's like shops around it, but then there's also all these different stalls where they have people hawking fruits and meats and all kinds of different trinkets and clothing.
Right. Cool. Alrighty. What I was thinking it would be kind of cool to see what was available on the streets, and like you can kind of sort of silently, we could buy like cool shawls and kind of keep ourselves concealed and just sort of walk about, be more conspicuous, and just sort of.
I already have a patchy cloak for that.
Yeah. See, you probably already have that kind of stuff. See, Agnetha needs some stealthy clothing to like hide her appearance more often because she sort of stands out. So I want some clothes to sort of cover me up more, so I'm gonna go shopping for that.
I want something flashy, quite the opposite of that.
So one of the first things you come across is, it's not actually a stall, but there's a woman with a blanket spread out and she's sitting on it Indian style, and she's extremely pregnant. And she's actually making drums. Like she's stretching the hides over the barrels to make the drums and the frames, and there's also all kinds of different hides like rolled up, and when you look at it, you can see that it's a different kind of pelt than you're used to seeing.
Okay.
and some of them are really large, like the size of a horse, but they're very shaggy. And so the other thing that really stands out is one, this woman is clearly a warrior, and she's got very broad shoulders, heavy breasted, long dark hair, piercing green eyes, and tusks because she's actually an orc.
Whoa.
But extremely pregnant orc.
So
And she's just like happily working away.
Agnetha's gonna approach her and be like, Tatanka?
She looks up at you.
Well.
Tatanka.
Is this like some kind of buffalo or so? What is this beautiful material that you're working with, my lady?
Oh, it is Olin Guy.
What is that?
She has a really deep voice too, like almost like 40-year smoker type voice. It's kind of scratchy.
Ha. Yeah. Okay. I'm just joking.
Oh, the Olin Guy.
I like to creep you out.
Well, she takes one of the pelts and kind of like unrolls it a little bit, and you can see a brand mark, and it looks like a goat. Olin Guy.
Ah.
Oh.
Wonderful.
Is they're the sacred animals of our people.
Definitely checking out some of these drums.
I'm gonna ask her maybe if she makes any sort of clothing out of it, or if it's just drums, or like what she does, what it's for, why she's like, I don't know. They're just musical instruments and stuff, like big drums. Are they like ones?
There's all different sizes.
Cool. Okay.
And inspecting her a little bit closer, you can see that her hair is actually dyed black. And you can just see the tips are like a fire red.
Okay.
All right, do you play?
I do.
Would you like to try one?
May I?
Absolutely.
Yay!
Right. I am going to give this a shot.
Play for us, can I play?
And that's 22 performance.
Oh, that is amazing. You're quite the talented musician.
So how much for this one? And I'm like, it's like checking it out, trying to, get a feel for like where the notes are on this particular drum, like just, get a feel for this particular instrument.
That one there? Oh, I could part with that for 7 silver pieces.
I definitely buy that drum. Yep.
Yeah. I'm not doing as much hunting and gathering as I used to. I recently came into town. I'm looking for my boyfriend, and she starts rubbing her belly.
So you haven't found him yet?
Oh no, I know where he is. He's really busy. He's kind of important in the town. He's always off, saving them from something or other.
Ah.
Richard Pickleton is his name.
Oh,
he's one of the goblins that live here.
You and a goblin.
Well, I wasn't, but that Richard is such a sweet talker.
Yeah, duped by a goblin. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to sit there.
I actually think that's really sweet.
I didn't get duped. He's my boyfriend.
It's a joke, my lady. That's wonderful. Congratulations.
We've been betrothed for quite a while now. It's probably been close to 2 years.
That's wonderful. And when are you due?
Um, she starts like counting off on her fingers. I think any time now.
Yeah, you look like it ready to pop, hey?
Yeah, I can only hope. I hope they are big and strong and hardy like their father. He's quite wealthy too. I'm very lucky.
Good for you. That's awesome.
I'm just awkwardly sitting here tapping out a beat on the drum and letting
I'm
them
like,
shoot the
let's
breeze.
move on. Let's move on. I'm like begging you, like, please.
She kind of leans forward and tilts her head and she points. This is like, you see that, and then she points to like on the other side of the church. There's a big like manor, on a hill like in the distance. It's actually one of the bigger houses.
Mm-hmm.
He lives there.
Ah,
Not now though. Now he's off. He's doing something really important. She lowers her voice like she's telling you a secret. He's off doing something
I'm
really
listening.
important. There's have you heard of the Vargarians?
I'm sure
Not.
Kenna has, but it's not ringing a bell to me.
It's these are these evil creatures that have come from another realm, and they turn I don't know, what did he say they were? Golems. They're like golems. They turn people into half golems.
Really?
Are you talking about tieflings?
No, that's a different thing.
No, I don't know anything about tieflings. But yeah, they came to this world and are trying to take over.
Intriguing.
What? This is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Please inform us. What is going on?
Do go
What do you
on.
know?
Oh yeah, they're building a magic gem. They're using his friend Murphy McCrystaltop. He has his magic eye beams. They're filling a gem with his magic eye beams, and they're going to use it to blow something up.
Well, that sounds foreboding.
Oh yeah, it's going to be great.
Wait, what?
And you're sure your lover is going to succeed?
Oh yes, he's a hero.
I would certainly hope so.
Wow, that sounds like a really important mission.
That's
wish you.
quite intense.
Wow.
Yeah, I hope he finishes soon so he can come back to us. Then she pats her belly again.
I'm not gonna hug her without permission, but like I think about it briefly and then decide it's not a good idea.
I'm gonna tell her that I've delivered many babies and I wish her well. And if you need anything, let me know. I can help you. I have actually been a midwife many times.
Oh, that is very kind of you, lass.
We're with the MB way. It's just spitting distance that way.
Oh yeah, the halflings. I've seen them.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, guys are kind of new to town. You should think about getting some Olin Guy.
What's that?
You should think about getting some Olin Guy.
What is that?
And she unrolls the piece of fur again with the brand that looks like a goat.
Oh yes.
Olin Guy, they're good. You can milk them. You can for the milk, and you can make the cheese.
Confidentially, I'm fairly certain that my grandmother is already considering it. She got some of the wool and has been knitting with it, and she's not been able to shut up about it.
Oh, that's right. She does like your brand. It's very popular in the halfling community, really.
Her face lights up when you say that. Oh, Lala, right? Her
Yes.
name is Lala.
Yes.
Pidge, Rich,
Midge.
Midge.
Lala
That's it. Yes, she bought some of the furs from me.
Yes.
She seems like a very nice lady.
She is.
Well, that you could if you had your own Olin Guy, you could shear them as well. They're so useful. Our tribe cannot survive without them in the mountains.
And how would one go about procuring one of these creatures?
You'd have to negotiate with the shaman. He controls all the dealings with outsiders.
I like stare at
Alright.
him. A shaman? Who is this, and where do we find him?
Well, up in the mountains. See, that's how I met Richard. He came with his companions. They had mystical. She kind of looks like she's trying to think. A mystical staff. That's what it was, and they couldn't find any place to get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
Well, yeah, they said they didn't need it, and they wanted to find someone that could use it. They wanted to sell it.
I see.
And but they didn't want any Olin guy, so instead, in order to deal with the shaman decided they would have to spirit quest and be accepted into the tribe. And I think some of them almost didn't make it.
Oh. Well, that's unfortunate.
But many came out with the mark of the Olin guy. They've been accepted into the tribe. You should visit sometime. Tell them that Lorana sent you.
Dang it.
All right. We will definitely do that.
But beware, dude. There's a couple different orc tribes in the mountains. You must seek out the Olin guy. Do not go to the other ones.
Okay.
They follow the dark one.
Also very unfortunate.
Yes. They had lost their way.
And how do we know which way to go?
She gives you directions to their to where their tribe lives in the mountains, and warns you away from certain areas of the mountains. Those ones, beware. They
Right, we
follow
certainly
away
shall
into
be.
Bloodlord.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm breaking up really badly, so I'm not hearing everything.
Oh no.
All right, so basically we got a quest hook to go and consult with the shaman up in the mountains and see if we can get some of the furry goat sheep.
Okay, there we go. Now I hear you. Thank you. So it's a goat. The Ulingai
The
is.
Olin guy, yes.
Olin guy.
It's like a goat sheep.
They so the Olin guy, if you interrogate her a little bit, you figure out they're actually giant goats that they use as mounts, and they also breed them for milk and cheese, and they shear them. They use them for almost everything.
Right. Got it. Got you. Thank you for rephrasing that.
So I think we'll wrap up right there. Hopefully we'll have Vex next week, and you guys can decide which direction you want to go. You have a couple of leads to follow.
Ooh, we can go in the mountains. I like that. That could be fun.
We
Got
need to deal with
balance.
Fairwood first, probably, but yeah, definitely at some point.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone who has been following along and watching with us, and we'll be back next week, same time. So until later, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy, everyone.